was at an event and a complete stranger approached me with an envelope with newspaper clippings about this story. And, you know, a month or two later I was throwing stuff out and I just happened to open it and read the first article. And, you know, something about the, you know, absurdity of an extremely one of the wealthiest men in America making a decision to become a wrestling coach to some of the most talented wrestlers in America without knowing anything about wrestling. And it just seemed comic and horrible because of what happened. And what do these people have to do with each other? And how do they fit? And, you know, I'm trying to give you some kind of a reasonable answer, but the truth is it just, you know, seized me. And for whatever reason, in that moment, you know, there was a vision and didn't let go of it.
As you were putting this together and assembling the cast, I know you've been quoted in a couple of sources as saying you were looking to cast the role of John DuPont and give it to someone who would be totally unexpected to be in that role, totally different. Can you talk a bit about what made you choose Steve?
Well, Steve's agent put Steve's name forward in a time when lists were being made. And I think seeing his name got me thinking like that this is a character who does something that nobody expects. And Steve, at least our perception of Steve as a performer and whatever we might know of his, you know, public persona, is very much not what you would think of when it comes to what this character does, which is the same as with John DuPont himself. Nobody thought of John this way. And when I met with Steve, I had the thought, and Steve, you tell me if this is a bothersome thought, if I should stop saying things like this.
You think it's bothersome, it probably is.
Steve is not as intelligent as people think he is. And doesn't really have much talent. But no, what
I didn't think that was that bad.
what I really wanted to say that's really bothersome is I am attracted to comic actors. I think that there's a history of comic actors being amazing in dramatic roles, and knowing a few comedian types, there's always a very sharp aspect to their troubled psyches that the world never really or rarely gets to see. And when we sat and talked about it the first time, there was nothing familiar in the way that you presented yourself and the role and how you talked about it right out of the gate, and a willingness to exhibit these qualities that this character had, and it's the seriousness and the commitment that Steve had immediately also went a long, long way. I thought